Welcome to Driveway DIY, where we bring the shop to you. Today we're going to show you how to replace sway bar end links. So we're going to remove this sway bar bushing. Sometimes it's difficult to get to the nut or the top of the bolt on the bottom. It's actually a hole right here in the bottom of the A-arm. We're going to use a crowfoot here, and then we're just going to slide that up in here, and then we should be able to break this free. There we go. I don't like having the nut on the bottom side down here because it's a lot harder to get this bolt out because it's going to hit this upper A-arm. I'll put them in so that the nut is at the top. It's a lot easier to install it and service it later on. We pull out the bottom bushing, then we can start pulling this up. This can be difficult. Use a little punch or a screwdriver, just tap it up, there it goes. Pull the bottom bushings out. All of this is junk. See right here, you see how corroded this is? This is what keeps things from moving. Eventually, this would have broken if the bushings hadn't obliterated. So this is our new hardware kit. You get a ultra long bolt, 4 of these conical shaped washers. One goes on first. Then a rubber bushing. There are 2 sides to the rubber bushing. This goes towards the sway bar or towards the lower control arm. The flat side goes toward the washer. One of those. Then another bushing. This is the opposite direction. This will clamshell around the sway bar and the lower control arm, respectively. Another conical washer. Then we have a spacer. Washer, bushing, another bushing, washer, and then finally the nut. Once this is installed in the vehicle, everything's tightened up. You will use a jack to raise up the suspension to where all the weight of the vehicle is on the suspension, and you will tighten this further until these rubber bushings just start to expand past the edge of your washers. That's how these are done correctly. We've got our bolt with the first bushing on it. We're actually going to drive this in from underneath. Should be a little bit easier to do. So pass this bolt up, put the next bushing, washer, another bushing and spacer. I'm going to get this angled up here. There we go. We use one hand to hold the bolt, drop that bushing on there. We went ahead and jacked up the suspension just a little bit so we could get this last washer and the nut on. All right, so now we should be able to get this pressed down on here enough. We get this nut started, and then we can take our ratchet and we can start to draw this down. That's good enough until we raise this up and take all of the weight onto the suspension. So now we're going to take our socket, put it on the bottom side. We're going to take our wrench and we're just going to go ahead and torque this down until those bushings start to expand just past the edge of the washer. Just like that. We're good to go. Now we can put the wheel back on and go for a drive. And that's all there is to installing new sway bar end links. Make sure you torque these with the weight of the vehicle on the suspension. Find all the parts you need to get the job done at ebaymotors.com.